Welcome to Asst College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself, Assistant Professor Sunil Shah. Today, I would be covering up the topics under the M.Com E-Commerce, which is of Mumbai University, and the semester which the topic I am covering is semester 4 of the Unit 3, and the subject name is Legal Securities and the Law related to E-Commerce. Students, in this particular topic, I will be covering up the topic called E-Commerce. What is E-Commerce? That is electronic way of doing the transaction, buying and selling of the goods is called as E-Commerce. E-Commerce, it consists of buying and selling of the goods and services over the electronic system such as internet and other computer network. It may be through Flipkart, it may be through Amazon, or it may be through any of the websites over the worldwide. E-commerce is purchasing and selling and exchanging of the goods and service over the computer network through the transaction or the terms or of the sale are performed electronically. So whenever you are buying the goods in through internet or through computer system, we should understand the terms and conditions which have been laid by the seller, and the buyer, the purchaser, should get informed about the transaction details what he is giving to the other party. The next part under the e-commerce is telecommunication infrastructure. Telecommunication are the means of electronic transmission of the information over the distance. It may be through the villages, it may be through the districts, or it may be from country to country. It is a physical medium through which all the internet traffic flows. It includes telephone wires, cables including submarine cables, satellites, microwaves, and the mobile technologies such as 5th generation mobile networks. So in this particular slide, you can see this type of networks are over there, whether it is through submarines or through the satellites or through the telephonic wires. Coming to the next particular slide, where I am informing you about the components of the telecommunication network. The terminal to access the network computer for the processing information, they are connected to the network links for forming a channel to transmit the information from sending a device to the receiving device, so that the two proper device, that is the sender's device and the person who is receiving that particular information through telecommunication officer, should be also proper, and telecommunication equipment that helps to transmit the information, that means that particular instrument should be equipped with that particular latest technology, and the telecommunication software for the controlling and managing of the messages transmission over the network. So these are the different types of the telecommunication devices which are available worldwide for the information to be received and to be sent. You are aware with this particular two very well known words which are quite popular, that is called WAN and LAN. Coming to the types of telecommunication network, the one first and the much more popular is WAN, that is called wide area network. The full form of WAN is wide area network. Wide area network are the communication networks that covers a larger geographical area and like a city or metropolitan area. The metropolitan areas are like these particular cities which have been suggested as a metropolitans in the particular state. WAN are usually used for big organizations or multinational companies for the transmitting and receiving the information among their employees, suppliers, customers that are spread across the different cities, states or countries across the world. So if you take an example of a very big company or a large MNC, they would be having the branches all over India. That means they are connected with WAN, or any of the particular company which are into that particular transmission of that particular goods or transmitting of the goods from one place to another, they need to have a WAN. So or those companies who are into that particular area, where in this particular city they are having 3-4 offices, they are also connected with WAN. Whereas the opposite of WAN is LAN, L-A-N, that is called local area network. Local area network are the telecommunication network that connects the different information processing devices like computers within a limited physical area. So the difference here is large, here it's limited space. They are used for connectivity of the small area like offices, classroom or manufacturing plant. So in that particular plant, if the plant is having that particular storing facilities and the other person is also having that plant of the purchasing, or those persons who are having that particular in that plant only logistic facility, they are interconnected with LAN. If there is a big colleges and they want to connect each other, they would be connected with LAN. Same thing would be happen through the classroom also. Coming to the next point is metropolitan area network. This is a very quite and unique, that is called MAN, metropolitan area network. And metropolitan area network is the larger version of LAN, popularly known as MAN. It is works on similar technology of LAN. While LAN is restricted to the private campus or the building, MAN is designed to the entire city. It is a telecommunication network that connects to several LANs together in a larger network or a single cable. So under the MAN, that is called metropolitan area network, it has been connected to the different premises and which is also connected to the main server, that is called main device, that is called MAN. So in MAN, it is called metropolitan area network. It will be covered to the entire city, whereas LAN is covered only to the limited area of that campus or building or the plant. Coming to this next important slide, what I am discussing about the brand availability and its requirement. The brand availability plays a very important role while using the VoIP or the WebCT services. If you don't have enough bandwidth or the available bandwidth is lesser, then there would be having a problem related to uploading or downloading of the documents. We would be having the problem related to the voice of that particular person where you are speaking, or where there is a communication going on, or there would be interruption in the voice or the cracking of the voice, and there would be poor connectivity. So the minimum bandwidth requirement are 100 kbps up and down, and recommended speed would be 3 mbps for ups and downs. For the number of concurrent calls, if it is 3, the minimum required would be 300 kbps and the recommended speed would be 3 mbps up and down. And if you are going to the last part where the number of concurrent calls are 10, 1 mbps ups and downs would be there, and for the recommended speed would be 5 to 10 mbps up and down. So bandwidth is very, very important while we would be having the connectivity. So in this particular e-commerce particular video which I am explaining you, the first would be that particular area where the bandwidth would be much more important, then the telecommunication device would be important, and then would be are you connected with WAN, LAN or MAN. The next slide would be e-commerce or electronic commerce sites using electronic payment. While electronic payment refers to paperless monetary transaction. Earlier we used to have that transaction related to the money, there would be having a paper transmission through the normal paper. Now we would be going into that plastic money, that is called through the smart cards. Then we are going into the paperless or the cardless transaction, that is through internet payment. So electronic payment plays a very important role in the e-commerce transaction. Electronic payment has revolutionized the business of processing by reducing the paperwork, transaction cost or the labor cost. If you visit to the bank, then you have to take the passbook, take the printout of the statement, but now we are into digital era wherein everything is there in our cell phone. That means no need of taking the printouts. The labor cost is also been decreased. If you go to that particular ATM machines also, when you see that particular transaction details, or if you see that mini statement, sometimes that particular machine doesn't take the printout. That means we are saving that particular cost of the printing, the ink and the cost involved in transmitting of the papers, loading and uploading in that particular machine. So electronic payment system is also revolutionized in the e-commerce industries, being user friendly and lesser time consuming than the manual process, helping business organization to expand its market reaching expansion. So if you want to have the data of the 5 years or the 10 years, you can easily download from your particular account. So no need of going to the bank or to get that particular transaction details. So types of electronic system, the earlier one was credit card. Payment using credit card is one of the most common mode of electronic payment. Credit card is a small plastic with a unique number attached with the account number, followed with the debit card. Debit card is also like a credit card with a small plastic card with a unique mapped number with a bank account number. It is required to bank. That means we have to required to go to the bank to collect the debit card from the bank. Smart card is again similar to credit card or a debit card in the appearance, but it is having a smaller microprocessor chip embedded in it. It has the capacity to store customers or work related or personal information, what we do it through Aadhaar card. E-money's transaction refers to the situation where the payment is done over the network or amount gets transferred from one financial body to another financial body without involvement of the money, the middleman. NPCI, that is National Payment Corporation of India, has come out with the different types of cards, different types of FASTag, wherever there is a paperless transaction when we pay the toll. Uniform Commercial Code. A uniform commercial code is a group of laws to states to utilize whenever undergoing the business or the commercial transaction, helping to provide the better clarity and the consistency in these steps of the negotiation. Exploring the application of the structure of UCC, that is Uniform Commercial Code, to review this specific example how the UCC is used in the business and commercial transactions. So if one of the companies situated in India and the other company is situated in Japan, through UCC, that is Uniform Commercial Code, we can do the better business so that everyone is safe and would be safeguarding their money as well as the transaction as well as the particular goods involved in it. What is the applicability of UCC? It is applies to all commercial and the business transaction. Therefore, UCC applies to the goods, that is sale and purchase of the goods. It applies to the commercial transaction, that is example of banking transaction, that is one bank situated in Canada and the other bank situated in India. That type of transaction is also valid. And the letter of credit, whenever the goods are being bought on credit by one of the company located in India and the other country which is located in UK. In this case, when there is a transaction through the C mode, then letter of credit plays a vital role in doing the transaction details. Coming to the next point, the applicability of UCC is the banking deposit, whenever you are depositing in one part of the country to other country. Lease, whenever we are doing the lease agreement, or investment securities such as stocks and bonds. And these security transactions are also been applicable with the Uniform Commercial Code. Thank you from my side. Today in this particular video I had covered about the unit 3 of MCOM e-commerce. The subject name was legal securities and the law related to the securities market, that is e-commerce, and that particular topic was covered in unit 3. Thank you from my side.